Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of some F123 Game Leaks and Game News. I'll get started because obviously the big one will be coming later in the video. But first, I'll start with some real axle locking. Not in the F1 game before, but it is coming to F123. Apparently, the player experienced a jolt in the force feedback and spins you around. I've got no footage of this, and I can't show you a lot of what I'm talking about in today's video because of copyright as well. F223 coming after launch. Again, not surprised there by in the slightest, to be honest, because, you know, hardly anyone's playing F2 on launch. They're only going to be playing F1. F1 cars, really. To be honest, F2 is there for the story mode, potentially. As well. Not a lot has been revealed about Breaking Point because we've already seen quite a lot of it, and now it's just about playing out the story, which I have a sneaky feeling if you are subscribed to a bigger YouTuber like Arav, Zima Marduk, even like Tom97, might be a bit smaller. Those lot will all be playing Breaking Point, and I'm going to guess the last time we had Breaking Point, they played it the Thursday before the game released. Now, if I look at my calendar, the Thursday before the game release is Thursday the 8th of June, before the game will come out. Their transfer embargo will most likely unlift on the 12th, so you'll start seeing their career modes from the 12th onwards, and everyone else's career modes from the 13th as well. One thing I can show you, Red Bull Miami livery is going to be in the game from launch. I don't know if it's going to be like what happened with McLaren. If you recall back to last year on F122, I say last year now, at Singapore, the OKX pink McLaren livery, that was first the McLaren livery in game and then became the My Team car. Now the footage you would have seen on screen is just the My Team car, so whether or not it's first applied to the Red Bull livery on launch and then available in the My Team car afterwards, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Track updates. Austria has been updated, but Singapore and Belgium doesn't look like they have been, so you're not going to be able to enjoy the new section, the new final sector at Singapore. It doesn't look like they've done that, and Belgium, it doesn't look like they've redone Eau Rouge either, with the new gravel and grandstand up there. Spain is technically still possible. I think some advertising sponsors are being updated as well, so it's technically still possible they could update the final corner, but it took them a year to update turn 10, so I wouldn't hold your breath on that. Austria, though, is one track that has been updated. As seen, there's some picture going around the final corner. There's a big bollard that's been updated there now. So Austria has had an update there. Ride height is now 1 to 50 instead of 1 to 10, I think it was. 1 to 11. So the previous scaling for ride height is now changed to a 1 to 50 scaling. I don't think there was too many R&D upgrades based on ride height, to be honest. Because they reduced the amount of aerodynamic upgrades on F122 to counteract the fact that there was a 1 to 50 in terms of the aero side, front and rear downforce, compared to F1 2021 when there was only 1 to 11. So that's ride height's now 1 to 50. Now, the HUD is the final leak before we go on to the My Team icons. Is the HUD. I can't remember if I mentioned this previously, but basically they are using a very similar layout to FOM. It's got the, how it says F1, their new F1 race style thing at the top left hand corner, as if you're watching the telly. They've got that in the F1 game now, so that's been updated. And also they've arranged it so that the brake and accelerator lights are along the halo as well, which I think looks quite nice as well. So it's lots very similar. It's not exactly the same because F1 would just copyright every single YouTuber. It would be an absolute nightmare. Like the F1 2017 intro, that was copyrighted left, right, and centre. If you remember back that far, as well. But on then to the 4 new Mighty Icons, and these are confirmed thanks to our friends at Xbox again, providing us with this new, or shall I say, this very special Racing and Icons pack. Now, they've always been some sort of pack on Xbox, but obviously Max Verstappen, I think we've mentioned this previously, Max Verstappen exclusive design racing customizations, including a car livery, helmet, suit and gloves. I think the car livery is one we haven't seen before in that respect. So we are getting a Max Verstappen design car livery, but then of course we've seen car liveries before for the likes of George Russell and Daniel Ricciardo, and they've not been that great. The one thing that's getting people very annoyed is the 4 new My Team Racing icons. Obviously, we're losing an icon because Nico Hülkenberg has rejoined the grid, and we're getting 4 new ones. Only one of them is a world champion. Nigel Mansell joins the grid, one-time world champion. To be fair, he probably could have won a couple more. 86, excuse me, comes to mind when he had that tyre blowout at Adelaide. That comes to mind. Also got, but then the other 3, a lot of people are not happy with it, especially Jamie Chadwick. Now, I understand it's a female role model in the game, but you know, Sophia Flourish, technically speaking, she drives in Formula 3 and she is closer to Formula 1 than Jamie is right now, as well. So that's just, I just thought I'd quickly mention that as well. Pastor Maldonado, that's going to be fun. The return of Red Flags means the return of Pastor Maldonado and Kamui Kobayashi. I mean, I think Sato over Kobayashi for me any day, personally speaking, but there we go. A little bit, it's underwhelming, these 4. I'm not going to lie. The one that I want to have in the F1 game, of course, I said it before and I said it again, 5-time world champion, one Manuel Fangio, and also, not only that, one person who's just recently retired from the game, who you could just copy and paste his face, his helmet, and everything like that from F1 22 onto F1 23, especially the fact we're not getting a new game engine because it's going to be on old gen. You know, one person not mentioned on that list, Sebastian Vettel. Vettel has recently retired. You know, you've got his recent scan. It would make perfect sense for him to be as a mighty icon. 4-time world champion, totally deserves to be a mighty icon, and he's not there. So, you know, I'll wash my hands of these icons now. I really do, because they are going from it's more like going from who the fans want, because you know I've been calling for Fangio to be put in. A lot of people have been upset that Vettel isn't in as well on this year's game, and instead we've got Kobayashi, Maldonado, and Mansell. I mean, Mansell, to be fair, is deserves to be there. You know, he had a mixed career in his time, but you know, there are better world champions out there. Jackie Stewart, the legend himself from the weekend, of course. If you didn't see that on Sky in the UK, Martin Brundle, who's one of the commentators for Sky in the UK, was doing his grid walk and wanted to interview Roger Federer, but Roger Federer was at the other side of this rope, and the legend Jackie Stewart went across this rope, went past Roger Federer's security guards, and got Roger to talk to Martin. And Roger, obviously being the man he is, went over and actually got interviewed by Martin, thanks to Sir Jackie Stewart. So I mean, the man is a legend for doing that. As well as he's also a 3-time world champion. So I'd like to see some older role models be introduced to my team as icons, because the oldest we've currently got so far is Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna, and those face scans have been just copied and pasted from F1 2019 as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think about F1 23, in particular also the My Team icons. Let me know who you would like to see as a My Team icon and potentially future game as well. But if you are new around here, then please do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.